Hello there, welcome to video 8, verify a project, which means to check your program for syntax errors or any other problems. All right. So about the verifying a project, there are some indicators in your program uh, for the errors. Maybe there are some problems in your ladder logic. You can look at that, right? So there, I'm going to talk about those indicators where you can look at them. And even you miss those indicators, you can also use menu buttons to verify your project, right? Like even you miss the indicator, you didn't do the manual verification, then before you download, right? Eventually, you're gonna download the PLC. Before you download, the software will automatically verify your project, so uh, it won't miss the all the error any errors in your program, because any syntax error or any other problems if exist in your project, there's no way you can pass to download phase, right? PLC controller cannot run your program with errors, right? So that's guaranteed. So let me explain this with a real program. All right, so that's just first try look at a a simple ladder logic problem. All right, so let's look at first. Maybe we want to convert the hardware electrical ladder logic diagram into PLC. So you can see here we have a uh, single pole, single throw switch, right? So it's just a switch. So with switch, control the relay coil. And from this relay, you have two separate uh, contacts. Right? The normally open contact, normally closed contact. So normally open control the red light, and normally closed control the green light. So if switch is open, like right now, the coil is de-energized, and that's open, that's closed. You will see the green light turn on, right? But when the switch close and coil energized, everything will be flipped. So you will see red light on, green light off, right? So this is a uh, hardwired circuit, a hardwired relay control circuit. So if we want to convert into PLC, the first solution, we can just directly convert, right? So the switch uh, will be represented by a tag, right? Then we use exam on, right? Because there's with other this video is this series of video is just talk about software, right? With programming, I plan to have other videos, right? So I don't want to talk about those within this video, right? So we have to use exam on to check the switch. Then we have output as the CR1 control relay. So one thing you need to understand, you cannot create two separate tag names to represent the normally open, normally closed contact, like the hardware circuit. Right? Those are just labels, represent the contact. But with program, you have to use the same tag to connect, to correlate this into your logic. Right? So that's the output for the red light, the green light. Right? So that's our first solution, right? So then if we think about it, the purpose of PLC is to replace the control relays. So this control relay could be totally eliminated. So we don't even need them as the intermediate result of the logic. So we can directly convert this into the second solution. You can see here, even though the switch is single pole, single throw, right? So, but once it replaced uh, by a switch inside the PLC, it doesn't matter how many times you can check it, right? You can check as many times as you want. So as you can see here, we directly use exam on, exam off to check switch, then energize the output. So this is the data logic program I'm going to uh, implement with PLC. All right, so let me open up there. Okay, so let me look at here. All right, so within this project, I already create the tag. Okay, so I use SS to represent the switch. All right, so let me start to edit the program. So first, this is what I mean by the indicators, right? So you can see here when I talk about indicators, you can see that's one indicator because the when you first add a run, this empty run, right? Rockwell doesn't allow the empty ROM to be downloaded. Right? If you look at Siemens PLC, uh, they are okay. They allow the empty, they call network. Uh, Basically, it's that's identical to ROM. Right? It's empty. It's okay with Siemens PLC, but over here with Rockwell, you cannot have empty blank wrong in your logic. So that's why you see there's a red X on here. I mean, that's sort of indicator, right? So that's the start of the program. We have exam on, right? I talk about this. This question mark, it has to be replaced by tag. You cannot download your data logic with question mark in your program, right? So I use SS to represent the switch. Then I have the output. So I can have PLR, you can see here, right? PLR is right here. So I can select that. I already talked about those skills, right? So you can see here, once we complete this, that not only the question mark gone, right? And also the red X in this area disappears. So that gave you the indications of your syntax, right? So then once we add the second run, the red X will come back, right? So this time we use this SS. Remember the technique, right? So we don't even need to type in. We can even drag the SS drop here. So that automatically sign this into the SS. Then we want to energize PLG, right? PL underscore G. So enter. So after I finish this, notice here the red X, it didn't disappear. It's still there, right? So that's sort of indication you want to look at, right? So that's the first one I talk about on the indicators, right? So indicators for errors or problems. Then if you have a very long program, right, so perhaps you didn't pay attention to those indicators, then you can always verify your program, right? So there are two buttons, verify routine, verify project. I believe if you go to the menu, you can also get those functions like I mentioned before. You should be able to find all the functions within the menu. You can see here, right? They're also available here, right? So if you verify routine, only for the current routine. If you verify project, that'll be the everything, right? So in this program, doesn't matter, right? So you can, that's the only two runs I have in there, right? So this is how you can verify that. You can verify, then you see here, there's one error show up, right? So if you click on here, right, and let me see here. Remember I talk about these skills, right? Remember that you can go up, right? So there's one error message here, right? So I want to briefly talk about this. So even that you even miss those previous two uh, checkpoints before you download. I haven't set up the download yet, but if you download without any checking, the software will do it for you, right? Automatically verify the project, right? So let's move on to the second part of this video. How do we troubleshoot, right? So like over here, right? So I have this error in there. right? And also you can see the output window. This time I can make it bigger now, let you to look at it. So I have one error, it says one error, right? So you can adjust the window to up and down. Look at here, there's a blue message. That's over here I'm talking about. You need to pay attention to output window error tab, right? So there are three tabs here, right? Errors, right? So you can also have other things. We'll talk about watch tab later on. So with error, you can look at the message. The other technique is that you can click the error message. By clicking the error message, the software will automatically to locate the problem of the error, right? So let me click on here. So watch here, nothing being highlighted, right? Nothing on the routine window being highlighted. But when you click the error message, you can see here, this one being highlighted, right? So that pinpoint the problem. That definitely is a good help, good help with the large, very long program, right? If you have a multiple error message, when you click each message, that will highlight each location for that problem. And then I want you to read the message, right? You can see here, error, wrong one, wrong number one. Yeah, it is wrong number one, right? Then OTE, so that's the instruction, right? That's the OTE instruction. The details on that is operand zero. Operand, that means uh, tag, the tag associated with the instruction, right? With this particular instruction, you only have one tag, which is operand 0. The reference tag is undefined. That's pretty clear, right? You didn't define this tag. The other indicators is that if you move your cursor to here, you can see the tooltip. Right below that, it says undefined tag, PL underscore G. If you remember when I talk about the create tag and assign tag to the instructions, that is a particular error. I recommend you don't do it, right? So it's very easy mistake if you do it because you just click the question mark and type in the tag, right? So how to fix it? Right click, right? When you do the right click, you have a new whatever you type in there available for you. That will bring up this new tag window, right? With here, you just need to worry, it should be all right because everything is created from there, right? So you can just click create button. Then you notice here, the red X gone, right? So that's indicator. So now if you manually verify that, now you got 0 errors. So now you're ready to download, right? Which I will talk about that on the next video, right? See you over there.